Welcome to Modern Art Blitz, live from the floor of the LA Art Show. It's Sunday. My throat's actually doing better than yesterday. I mean, we've been here since Wednesday. It's up and down.
Bless you.
Yeah. It's the magic of Cheech, my guest, Cheech Marin. Cheech, welcome to Modern Art Blitz.
My pleasure, Matt. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while. Last time I saw you, I gave you a good price on a Lee Salgado drawing.
You just do that.
Yeah.
Last time I saw you was like 5 different colors.
5 different colors ago. Yeah. I think it was 3, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
So Cheech, it's been a busy year for you, and the big news, of course, Riverside, the Cheech Museum. What's it going to be called, and what's the ETA?
It's going to be called the Cheech Marin
get it closer.
Center. Cheech Marin Center for Chicano Art, Culture, and Industry. It's going to be called the Cheech, nicknamed the Cheech.
And Industry.
And
okay.
Industry. And we are scheduled to open 2020.
2020 vision.
That's it.
You and the Rams new stadium.
And the square footage of the building that we're being designated for the show is 61,420 feet.
61,000.
It's ordained by the Creator.
Wait, 61,000 is massive.
It's a massive.
That's massive.
It's a beautiful mid-century building that sits right next to the historic Mission Inn.
The Mission Inn.
Directly next door.
3 castles squished together.
It's amazing.
It's a weird place.
I love that place.
So is it just your collection? How are we arranging this?
It'll start out with just my collection, but the purpose is to gather other collections and to gather other esteemed art in all kinds of areas, well, not in painting, but sculpture, architecture, video especially.
Video art, hard to archive, beta. I mean, who has a beta player,
I know,
right?
exactly. Or whatever the kids do nowadays. But it's and an academic center, so we can really have an academic footing because there's 5 universities in the area they're all
in the Riverside area.
In the Riverside area there.
Why Riverside?
They came to me.
Hey.
And it's a perfect. I mean, Riverside is poised to be the next big art town in the United States.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because they're gathering there already, and there's a movement that is coming down there. It's a recognition of Chicano art. First of all, because Riverside itself is 52% Chicano. Inland Empire. 52%. That's 4.2 million people.
Okay.
And we'll start gathering all those other things around in order to identify and redefine actually what this Chicano sensibility and mentality is.
You've been buying Chicano art for quite a while. Great collection. Would just your collection fill 61,000 square feet?
No.
No. Really? I mean, you don't have that much?
No, I have.
61,000 is a lot, though.
I have a lot, but the thing about it I realized very quickly is that you can't display all the collection at once. You have to kind of roll it through so everybody gets a sense of what it is, how it took place in history, who were the people involved, so you can really, and it'll keep rolling through. And we estimate that it'll take maybe about 5 years to roll the collection.
Before everything's been shown. What is the oldest historic artwork in your collection?
I have a rock. It was a Chicano rock. Came from Chicanolandia, and it's probably the oldest. I think. I don't know. It's Mesozoic or what is it? One of those kind. Yeah. First, I started with rocks, which we threw at the bad guys.
What's the oldest painting in your collection?
Painting? Something probably by John Valadez or Carlos Almaraz or Patsy Valdez.
You don't have any retabulos?
Retablos? Yes, I do, but modern ones.
Modern
Chicano retablos.
Okay.
Because we're starting from that point.
Oh, okay. So so there's a Cheech art collection, but there's a Cheech collection of Chicano art.
I think the Cheech collection is simultaneously the Cheech collection of Chicano art. I've collected other things over my long and illustrious life, but now it's just Chicano art.
Okay, so you have a really old John Valadez. What's the newest artwork?
I just came back yesterday from Corpus Christi, Texas, and I bought a lot of artwork of the Chicano painters down there because we opened a show there at the South Texas Museum, Chicano Painters of Texas from the collection. And it's the 3rd show we've done in South Texas, and there's a real gathering of artists there that are creating a significant body, not only great art, but historically significant march towards the definition of what Chicano is right now.
Is there a, other than what football team you root for? Are there schism differences between a San Antonio or a Texas Chicano and an East LA Chicano?
Well, we're hoping to eliminate those differences, because it's a much bigger picture than anybody.
Not everybody's a Raiders fan.
Well,
down there,
you can live without being a Raiders fan.
The Rams proved that this year.
Rams are doing good. But rooting for the Rams. I was born and raised on the Rams when they were here in L.A.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was the first time I ever rooted for it. The Coliseum. But it's like, and then they went to Disney Lambs, and they were the Disney Lambs. and then they came
St.
back
Louis,
and they went out to St. Louis and went out, but they went to San Diego, and so it's like to root for them again is like marrying your ex-wife. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I could.
Actually, who I used to drink with was Bukowski, and he was a big Rams fan. Actually,
Oh, yeah?
He didn't like baseball as much, but he loved the Rams.
I like the Rams, and then I love the Raiders when they were here.
Okay.
And then they took.
They're going to Vegas.
I love that.
Mandalay Bay. The Mandalay Bay.
I love that they're going to
Raiders.
Vegas, man.
Yeah.
I might root for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that. I'm actually a Packers fan, but I went to a lot of Rams games this year. And
Really?
it's an exciting team. I think they got a future.
Packers.
So, well, it's just a random thing.
Okay,
just a
sure.
random
Hey,
thing. You got to pick somebody.
Whatever.
Yeah. Before they were
Heaven
trendy.
forbid it should be your hometown team. But,
Yeah.
do you have a hometown?
Well,
Are you here illegally?
I was born in Fullerton.
It's right on the edge.
Fullerton's the city that told Norton Simon, "Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want to build a museum here. We don't want to let you. We don't want you to pay to build a museum to put your Rembrandts here." That's
maybe it should be called Full of Fools.
So, speaking of which, you're going to have your own museum now. Are you going to museums now and paying a little more attention? Like at my museum, I want I want one of those at my museum.
We're figuring out what it's going to look like because we have this huge building as well as it sits in the cultural core of the center of Riverside, and so we're figuring how to incorporate all the aspects around it and how to make full use of the building because it's a big building.
Oh man, 61,000.
420.
420.
420 feet.
Well, speaking of 420,
It's ordained.
Tell us about what do you think of it's finally legal in California?
Well, it's been legal for me for Well, it's just recognizing reality. I mean, 29 states. 29, that's more than half of states, and 66 or 67% of the people think that marijuana should be legalized. The American public does not agree on 65% for anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Are you alive?
No president ever got that, right?
Say yeah. No. I mean that's and I kind of laugh at the government's attempt to try to, we're going to go after it. It's not going to go after it. You can stand in front of a lava flow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. The people have really spoken on this one, and the people do lead when they speak in those numbers. Yeah.
You can't be states' rights one day and states' rights the next day,
exactly,
Jeff.
when it's convenient. Okay. Are we going to? The Attorney General's after us now.
He's always after. He don't know who he's after. He got told to say that by Trump because it was a diversion for that.
Okay, like today's.
Today go out and do that.
Okay. Today's. Let's get a headline here so they don't read the headline.
Exactly.
There. Okay. So do you ever? Does it reach a point though where like everybody you meet like has to smoke a joint with you? Like I have to. Smoke
Well, I
a joint
tried
with
to.
Cheech.
I figured out how to turn it into a charity event.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did it as one celebrity auction for a golf tournament, and because I didn't have anything like a script, a sign.
Something to donate.
They
Okay.
auctioned off, so I auctioned off Smoke a Joint with Cheech and Chong.
Oh wow.
$15,000 every single time.
Wow.
Sometimes we sold 3 in a night.
You had to smoke 3 joints. Or you got to smoke 3 joints.
I'll supply it because I have my own weed line called Cheech's Private Stash. It's in the stores right now.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
I'm a curator for the source. Hey!
Wow. Cheech's Private Stash.
CPS.
Now, did you work on any THC chemistry? How did you do this?
We are constant. I'm a curator of a lot of strains because that's the attitude of people who go to dispensaries. They try different strains all the time. Well, I had that, and I'll try this one next, and the next one. So we want to keep abreast of that, and I want to curate new strains coming into the market. And our byline is, it will always be good. So you can trust old Cheech here that it'll always be good.
Oh man,
Will not always be the same,
it will not always be the same.
but it'll always be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a indica, sativa?
Both.
Oh, okay. So
Both
you've got-
and hybrid CBDs.
Oh,
we're
okay.
going all
Okay.
in.
So man, this is
We're all
we
in.
We got an industry here.
We're all in.
Okay. So I remember talking to you once, and you said right now in Chicano culture, there's the Virgin, there's the Raiders, and there's Cheech. Where are you still?
I don't know about the order of that, but yeah.
maybe a little swap them out. So you're still high on the pecking order. I mean, does that carry a lot of responsibility beyond having a museum and that?
Well, what it is the opportunity for everybody to participate, and that's what we want to do. We want to gather people in to dissolve differences and to unite under a banner that's all inclusive.
So instead of saying what's the difference between Texas Chicanos and
Yeah,
East
yeah.
LA Chicanos, okay.
It's the kind of menudo they eat.
So, what did you think of LACMA's Carlos Almaraz show? I mean, you there were pieces that you own in there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean, one of my all-time favorite artists, one of my all-time favorite shows, blew me away. Went back a couple times to see it.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. I thought it was a great show. Did you? I mean,
I was instrumental in getting that show mounted. It was a long conversation between myself and Michael Govan after we had done a couple shows together there at LACMA, and I kept talking to him about Carlos Almaraz has never had a retrospective. And so finally he came to see that would be a great thing to do. And he said, well, okay, we'll do it, but we'll do it for the Getty. We'll do it for the Getty initiative, give it a lot of publicity. It'll be And I said, okay, great. When's that? 5 years from now. What? I may not be alive 5 years from now.
The clock does start ticking.
But eventually it came along, and it is a magnificent,
Fantastic
painting.
show.
It was a fantastic painting show.
Did you know Carlos Almaraz?
I never met him.
You never met him?
I had many opportunities, and I said, I'll meet him next week. I got to go back on tour, and blah, blah, blah. And then he died.
Yes, I never met him, but Eduardo told me Richard Eduardo told me every Carlos Almaraz
Oh,
story.
I know a whole bunch.
yeah. And then there's plenty of Richard Eduardo stories now.
Yeah.
So you were instrumental in that. You lent some of the paintings, some
Yes.
of that in your collection. You know, the best car crash in there though was owned by Jack Nicholson. Did you?
It was a really good one.
Yeah,
I was instrumental in that too. Because they came to me. I thought he had little paintings, and he had the bigger ones. And they said we're trying to get these paintings out of Jack, and I know him, and I said, well, I'll work on it, and I got word to him, and he finally lent the painting. So,
Oh wow! So LACMA couldn't get it, but you could.
all Almaraz roads come through Cheech.
Little Hollywood. So are you doing anything in Hollywood right now? You got any TV, any movies coming out?
I completed a movie this summer with it was Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, myself, and Uma Thurman, and it's called War with Grandpa.
War with Grandpa.
War with Grandpa.
You don't play Grandpa, do you?
I don't. I play one of Grandpa's henchmen.
So I saw you. I just have to do that. I'm a Bob Dylan fan, and I saw you in Masked and Anonymous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How did you get to meet His Highness?
I've known him for a long time.
Oh, okay.
We used to play basketball together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Tommy Chong's driveway out in Malibu when we all lived in Malibu.
Oh, you all lived in Malibu. Then,
Yeah, and he was a friend of ours, and we played. I've known him forever.
Good basketball player.
It was okay.
Yeah?
Surprisingly.
Yeah?
For a folk icon.
I don't know about him one on
He
one.
always went left,
Singer,
though,
always left. Because you've been around and probably met almost everybody, right? You're Cheech. Everybody wants to meet you.
That's it.
Was Bob's weed better than yours?
No, I'm sure we supplied him with.
Now we know why he was coming over for basketball. Okay, so the museum opens in 2020.
Yes.
You just got back from Corpus Christi
Yes, sir.
buying some Chicano art. Is there any art? Do you have an art show planned between now and 2020? Is it just museum? Are you hyper focused?
Pretty much just museum right now. I'm still collecting and going around but that's not the main focus of it. The main focus is to gather adherents and funders for. So they don't tell you when they give you a museum. Well, you're now in the funding business,
Oh, because you're basically you're
Yeah.
the guy in front of 7-Eleven. Hey man, can I get 20 bucks here?
So it's like because we have to convert it from being a library, which it is now. It's a town library, to a art museum. So that
Just tearing down walls.
Not
just,
even that.
Architecture.
Just turning it, turning the air in it.
Oh yeah, you got to have a special humidifier
storage
to keep
and all kinds of things like that.
Okay,
but
so
we got 61,420 square feet.
that's the last 420 might be the most important.
It's ordained.
Okay, I got to talk.
All right.
Let's put yourself in the position. It's October.
Okay.
You're Dave Roberts. Yu Darvish gets on the mound. He lets a guy on base. There is one out. What do you do? How did he take too long to pull him?
I'm not going to second guess Dave Roberts, because that's a 7-game series and anything can happen. And I was in Houston for the series, part of the series.
Okay.
And I had to go and watch the Dodgers get beaten in Houston Stadium, but it was okay. They won again. It was an exciting series. Every single game,
every game
was it was probably the best World Series we've had in the last maybe 30 years.
Yeah,
it was really good. And I bless the Houston Astros. They played great. They have Jose Altuve, it looks like he should be playing Babe Ruth. In the Babe Ruth leagues, man. And that guy is strong and fast, hits with power, steals bases, great fielder.
I'm still looking forward to that Freeway series one day.
I would like that. I would like that to happen.
That would be a fun time, man.
Yeah, they have that other team. What's that other team?
Las Serafinas.
Las Serafinas. Yeah, there we go.
Las Serafinas de Los Angeles y Anaheim.
I think that'll be a good unifying element between Anaheim and Los Angeles. I think so. I think so.
So, okay, so you're giving a talk today at the LA Art Show. What are you talking about?
I'm talking with our head architect who's converting the museum, Kulapat. I can't even pronounce his last name. It's Thai. I'm looking for a clue. It's like Cher.
It's like Cher? Sunny?
Yantrasat. Kulapat Yantrasat.
Kulapat Yantrasat.
Yes, and he just finished the Marciano Museum.
Oh, wow.
It was another conversion of
it's a private collection, so he knows what's going on.
He knows what's going on.
And they converted the Freemasons Lodge into a private museum.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Now the Cheech Marin Museum of Chicano Art Studies,
culture
and
industry.
What is industry?
Surprisingly, I asked the same question. How does that work? The town of Riverside, California, in the 1880s was the richest per capita city in the United States.
Wow!
Because of citrus.
Oh.
They grew everything: citrus, oranges, lemons, limes, grapefruits, tangerines, everything there. And they built a railroad right into the middle of the grove, and they built packing houses all along them, and they shipped citrus all over the world. And so, it was shared between them. So during that period, there was significant, because they had a lot of money, significant cultural edifices that were erected there. Every single one of those buildings on the historical corridor is built by
Riverside.
In Riverside, is a famous architect.
Wow. Of the era.
Of the era. Mission Hills, our Mission, the
Mission Inn
is directly next door to this, and it's a national cultural designated heritage site.
That's one weird building.
I stay
Every
there all
hotel
the
room's different.
I love it all. There's this hotel room they put me in, and I can't tell you the number because it's very sacred, but it's a dome.
A dome?
You walk into it, and there's a dome. It's 60 feet tall.
Oh my God!
To the top, and then there's a 15-foot cupola on, and it's a hotel room.
That's your hotel room.
That's my hotel.
A 60-foot dome.
60-foot dome.
So I could go to Mission Inn and just say, "Hey man, can you give me the dome?"
They won't let you in. But it's like, it's all painted. It's like your hotel room is the Sistine Chapel. It is amazing.
So all this information, you won Celebrity Jeopardy, didn't you?
I did.
You did.
The very first Celebrity.
The very first Celebrity Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Were they kind of like?
They were shocked. Are you kidding, man? I got beat by that stoner. I went to Harvard. Yeah, well,
Okay, so when does War with Grandpa open?
I was supposed to open this month or next month. Let's say a Weinstein company. Well, it's a Dimension film. So, but that's kind of in transition. So,
okay.
See if the company gets sold or not, or taken over by Bob Weinstein, who's the brother.
Okay.
And
the good brother.
The good brother. And I'm not saying anything more. So we're waiting.
Great. Well, Cheech, it's a huge art fair. Go out to the LA Art Show. At 3 o'clock, you're going to be talking to your architect. You got a whole day ahead of you.
Come
see us. Thanks for joining us on Modern Art Blitz.
Always a pleasure.
It was a blast, Cheech. We'll be back right after this.